Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Alright, y'all, so in this video I'm going to talk about why it's possibly a bad thing that Eida and Daemon are actually coming to the Hidden Leaf Village. I know there's a bunch of positives about them overall coming to the Hidden Leaf Village. If you were to ask me, I'd say 1000% I'd definitely let them in the Hidden Leaf Village, but there is some downsides as well. And I think the first one has to be one of the most obvious ones, is the fact that they're there for Kawaki. Now that right there on the surface isn't necessarily a bad thing, mainly because Kawaki's goal as of right now is just the sole protection of Naruto, the 7th Hokage. But if that objective changes in any way, Eida and Daemon are going to be lockstep with Kawaki. For example, one of the things that we do understand is that Kawaki already made it clear that he's not necessarily the most, let's say, obedient when it comes to following rules that were given not only by Naruto, but if it's not by Naruto, by literally anybody else. One of the reasons why I did say this is because the Cold Arc essentially started with Kawaki leaving the Hidden Leaf Village. When Kawaki leaves the Hidden Leaf Village in the future, or if he wants to leave the Hidden Leaf Village in the future, he's going to be aided by Eida and Daemon, god level characters that are probably going to make it very difficult for Naruto, Boruto, and anybody else to potentially catch Kawaki. So if Kawaki ups one day and wants to actually leave the Hidden Leaf Village, there's almost nothing that Naruto can actually do to stop him, mainly because his teammates are just going to be that strong. And of course, one of the things that we do understand as of right now is that Eida is going to be extremely loyal to Kawaki no matter what, mainly because he's one of the only people that aren't necessarily going to fall under her trap. And not only that, one of the other bigger things is the fact that we know for a fact that Kawaki eventually turns against the shinobi. Now, we don't necessarily know the full context behind that. We don't necessarily know exactly who's alive at that particular point. We don't know anything about that. But as of right now, what we do understand is that if there is a situation where Kawaki decides to go rogue, before Eida and Daemon, we could have handled that problem. Obviously, Kawaki is still the strongest character in the Hidden Leaf Village, but if it came to really blows, let's be honest, Boruto, Naruto, and Sasuke would be able to actually handle Kawaki. I'm not so sure if that's going to be the case now that Daemon and Eida are actually there. Hypothetically, if Kawaki now decides to go rogue, essentially leaving back the Shinobi way, there is absolutely nothing that the Hidden Leaf Village can actually do. They can literally wake up any day and literally destroy the Hidden Leaf Village. It's going to be that insane. Now, of course, the risks are high and the rewards are high. We talked about the rewards a lot. Obviously, the Hidden Leaf Village is going to be by far the strongest village in the entire nation. And also, the Hidden Leaf Village boasted its defenses against potential Otsutsuki members that attacks the Hidden Leaf Village in the future. But regardless, this is going to be a huge thing that we're probably going to have to worry about chapter after chapter. How is Kawaki feeling? Is Kawaki happy today? Is Kawaki sad the next day? And of course, we do understand Kawaki himself is a very bipolar character. A random civilian could give Kawaki a bad look one day, and next thing you know, the Uchiha police force wants to actually put him in jail. And that's probably not going to happen because Eida and Daemon are there as well. So there's a bunch of things that could potentially go wrong with the addition of Eida and Daemon, just off the sheer fact that they're there for Kawaki first and not there for the Hidden Leaf Village. And not only that, we do have to talk about Ida's effect on Naruto. We didn't necessarily get an idea of exactly how they're going to actually deal with Eida and her abilities when it comes to Naruto. The reason why it's going to be very important is because Eida has this ability where everybody that actually looks at her becomes weak. Now, we don't necessarily know exactly how it's going to affect Naruto. We do understand that in some people it makes them extremely sick, and some people it makes them captivated by Ida's beauty, and so on and so forth. But one of the biggest things that's probably going to be very worrisome is the fact that Eida had like kind of control over the characters that she kind of captivated. Now, it wasn't necessarily like, hey, Eida tells somebody to do something and they 1000% have to do it. It really depends on how smart the person is, and of course how they react, and of course the effects of Eida's ability on that particular person. For example, Eida had damn near all control over Delta. Delta is one of the more simpler characters, so of course this right here could possibly be the reason why, but Eida would tell Delta to do something and Delta would 1000% do it. Cole was more like that, even though he did have some sort of free will, especially after he got his limiters removed. He had a lot of free will, and Shikamaru on the other hand blatantly disregarded Eida's actual orders. So it really affects different people different ways. But if Naruto is in a certain situation where Naruto is any way influenced by the decisions of Eida, that's going to be a big problem, mainly because that kind of makes Eida like the strongest and most powerful character in the Hidden Leaf Village. Now, in my personal opinion, I think it's probably going to be a very good idea to have Naruto not necessarily come into direct contact with Eida, so he isn't necessarily influenced by how she looks or anything like that. But one of the things that was kind of troubling is in the last chapter, when they were kind of explaining the situation to Naruto, Shikamaru essentially said that Naruto, you're going to see her ability when you see her. He said something along the lines of that, which kind of makes me feel like they're probably going to meet in the future, and Naruto's going to fall under Ida's control. I don't necessarily think it's going to be the smartest decision. Maybe they backtrack on that in the next chapter and say, hey, maybe you could look at her through like Zoom or something like that. The other big thing with Ida's abilities she's possibly going to have the ability to actually captivate everybody around Naruto. Hypothetically, if everyone in the Hidden Leaf Village looks at Eida, it's possible that everybody in the Hidden Leaf Village might become more loyal to Eida than they are to the Hokage. And that right there is going to be a huge problem. So I'm not necessarily sure exactly how they're going to handle the situation. Maybe they keep Eida in like a huge mansion or something like that, give her like all the entertainment in the world, but she cannot leave that mansion, something along the lines of that. But this is going to be a very tricky situation. I definitely do want to know what Shikamaru has in store for this particular scenario. Not only that, one of the things that we have to bring up, and I kind of hit towards this early in the video, Eida and Daemon can literally start a whole arc, period, point blank. For example, hypothetically, they come back to the Hidden Leaf Village in the next chapter, and Kawaki does not like Eida, and Boruto does not like Eida. There could be a certain situation where Eida and Daemon now become the overall villains for like the next 12 chapters, and now we have to find out how to beat Eida and Daemon at the same time in the next 12 chapters. Like, this can literally spark a full, flat out brand new arc. Eida and Daemon, they have the star power to do so. I wouldn't necessarily say that they'd be able to actually completely destroy the Hidden Leaf Village, but in a 1v1, it's damn near toast. It is toast. And I think that this right here might be an extremely huge problem, especially since we're also going to have to worry about Code potentially getting stronger, potentially going to other dimensions, rounding up god trees, eating a bunch of chocolate fruits and getting stronger just to come to the Hidden Leaf Village and of course kidnap Kawaki or something like that. So there's a bunch of things that could possibly go wrong if Kawaki just does not like Eida, and if Boruto also just does not like Eida. Not only that, we do have to take into account the outsider's reaction as well. Can you fully explain the situation to the actual citizens upon why Eida is actually in the Hidden Leaf Village and upon why Daemon is actually in the Hidden Leaf Village? As of right now, they aren't necessarily even fully warmed up to Kawaki, and we understand that Kawaki brought a decent amount of stress to the Hidden Leaf Village. So hypothetically, if Naruto and Shikamaru both want Eida to actually come into the Hidden Leaf Village, but everybody else in the Hidden Leaf Village does not want them to come, all the elders, all the other people on the Hokage staff, and not only that, the other 4 great nations, is Naruto and Shikamaru's word going to be good enough to actually get them in the Hidden Leaf Village despite everybody else's concerns? And not only that, we do understand that their concerns can possibly be quelled, or not necessarily quelled, but they can possibly understand why Eida and Daemon are actually coming to the Hidden Leaf Village, but Naruto can't necessarily explain that to the masses, mainly because you'd have to go in detail about damn near every single thing that really happened without fear of being too vague. I mean, they could possibly say like, hey, Eida and Daemon are just that much strong, and it'd be a very good asset for them to join the Hidden Leaf Village. They'd of course counter by saying that of course, even though they're strong, they're probably going to bring more problems. But can Naruto legitimately say that this is the only choice that we have if we do not take them in, that they're probably going to likely attack the Hidden Leaf Village later on? I'm not completely sure about that, but let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? I mean, I personally believe that the positives are probably going to outweigh the negatives. I mean, if you guys want me to make a full video about the positives and detailing exactly how this could potentially help the Hidden Leaf Village, let me know in the comment section down below. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the positives are going to outweigh the negatives? And give me your predictions right now. Are Eida and Daemon actually going to join the Hidden Leaf Village in the next chapter? But it's been your boy Baara, and we out.
It's a knife.